Hi, this is Ken from DiveMatrix.com, and we're at the Long Beach Scuba Show, and today we're meeting with Franco from Frankos Maps. Franco, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Good morning.
Big fan of your maps, have several of them, had them for a long time. Why maps? What made you start in the map business?
I'm an engineer, not a map maker. I made it all up, but as a mountain biker in the early 90s, there was no map of the Santa Ana Mountains or Chino Hills State Park, so I just made it up and drew it myself by hand. Went to a store to show it, not really intending to sell it, but the guy says, "How much?" I didn't even have a how much, so I said, $1. And I wound up selling all the maps that I had printed, and then I just kept going. Then I eventually got into ocean going stuff because I'm an ocean nut. My friends used to call me Aqua Nut. I'm actually an ocean engineer. And I made a Catalina map starting in about '96.
Yeah, the first map was Catalina, right?
Yeah, I printed that at the beginning of '97.
Okay.
And now I think it's on the 8th or 9th edition, and it's been 50 or 60,000 maps later.
Wow.
And I branched off into other areas like the Channel Islands and Monterey, Orange County coast, and somehow Hawaii, somehow the Caribbean, somehow, well, like right now we're working on several, always working on several.
So it started off in California with the Catalina maps, expanding out to most of the California shore dives, sounds like Orange County, Channel Islands, things of this type, and then began to move out to the world, right?
Then it moved out to moved out to Hawaii first.
Hawaii next.
I guess that was just a natural direction because I was enamored by Hawaii. Then it moved down to Cozumel and more of the Caribbean.
So the maps come from places that you really like to dive.
Or else that I'm just interested in. Maybe I haven't even been there yet. I think the way it's like goal setting. I start making a map of something and I wind up there.
Sure.
On a tax deductible trip.
So what's new? What's in the pipeline for the Frankos maps?
I've got, there's always a lot going on. In the dive world, I've got Palau. I've got it right up over here, a prototype.
Sure.
That's to be printed within a few weeks. Same time, Bonaire is in the works.
Bonaire, excellent.
Then Chuk Lagoon, which used to be called Truck Lagoon, is over here. It's history on one side and all the dive sites on another.
So the Chuk Lagoon has all the wrecks,
Japanese wrecks.
Yeah, and information about each of the wrecks on the map itself.
Yeah, on one side I kind of like history. One side I describe all the ships that were there as ships, where they came from, where they were running, and then what nailed them, like a torpedo bomber or whatever.
Sure.
Side 2 of the map is the colorful Franco color style, and that describes them as wrecks to dive on. What the depth is, that they got a big hole in them or whatever. And so maybe 50 or 100 words on each of the different ships that you can actually dive.
Okay.
There's also Florida Keys in the works, Bahamas in the works, San Juan Island, like in Puget Sound area. There's a whole variety always going on. We're working on Tahiti. Kind of like you can make up a list of all your favorite places, and that's what we're trying to work on.
I noticed that they're not all just dive destinations as well. You have maps about, you have fish guides, and you have guides to actually inside the wrecks, the information about the ship, the floors, how to navigate within the wreck, etc.
That's correct. It kind of just evolves. I kind of do what I feel like doing. I also have a lot of, we start with trail maps. I've got a lot of trail maps as well as guide maps. Guide maps means things to see and do.
Sure, oh, okay.
So Oahu, I have 3 maps. Started with a dive map, because that was my primary interest.
Sure.
Then it went to a surfing map of Oahu, which turns out to sell better than dive maps. And then the guide map of things to see and do, which turns out to sell better than either of the other 2. So then I wound up with guide maps of the Hawaiian Islands, guide maps of, well, I'm not sure where it's going. I even have Las Vegas in the works.
A guide map of Las Vegas.
And Hong Kong. And there's a lot to do. I guess it's kind of a limitless opportunity.
Franco, where do we find your maps?
A lot of stores have them. A lot of dive shops have the dive maps. Sport Chalet is a big one, of course. Nobody has all of the maps.
Sure.
But frankosmaps.com, www.frankosmaps.com
Outstanding.
is the easiest way to get any of them. My webmaster in Honolulu will be glad to send you anything from a Catalina map to a trail map to a Hawaii map to a Suna Palau map, etc.
Franco, my pleasure. We love your maps, and Very distinctive, very informative, great maps for the divers in our community. This is Ken from divematrix.com. We'll see you on the water.
Thank you.